All right, what is up? I got to make this one quick because Carolina and Bucks start in about 15 minutes. I'm really late on this one, but RagingTitan isn't going to be in this one. I will link. Well, I'll have his picks at the end of the video from Twitter. But we've just been so busy, and just trying to get this out this week it was just really hard. But hopefully I'll have this week 7 out before Sunday next week. So, but to get right into it, I do think the Bucks are gonna pull kind of an upset type of thing, and I think they will end up winning against Carolina. So I think it'll be a good game. I think the Bucks will kind of pull up an upset, hopefully. If they can stop Christian McCaffrey, I think so. Washington and Miami. Washington's probably just gonna win it. I don't know what to say about that. It's just not a good game to watch. New Orleans and Jags. Backup versus backup. I think Teddy Bridgewater and New Orleans are going to pull it out, but I think Gardner Minshew will keep him in. It should be a good game, and this one probably would have been my game of the week. I don't have one this week because not really that many good games. This was probably the closest for a contender, but I just don't want to put one because I'm like, I don't know if this is good enough to be a game of the week because New Orleans could just blow out the Jags. But that one would probably be my closest contender for game of the week this week. Then the next one, Baltimore. They're gonna. I don't know how close of a game this is gonna be, but Baltimore's gonna beat up on Cincinnati, and stay at the top of the AFC North, I believe. And then Cleveland's probably gonna stay in second place, because they're gonna get beat out by Seahawks. Russell Wilson's doing as best as he has been this year, and I think that's gonna continue. I don't think the Browns defense has what it takes to stop him. I don't think the offense has what it takes to step up and beat the defense. So. Philly and Vikings. I mean, really, if Philly gets some of its starters back, which I didn't pay too much attention to this week because, like I said, I've been busy. But I think Philly can beat up on the Vikings. Obviously, this is probably going to be a really close game. Maybe field goal decided or something. But I mean, if Kirk Cousins gets forced to throw, there's no guarantee. Last week they had a really easy opponent, so I mean, when you play someone like Philly, they're not pushovers. So I don't know how well the Vikings are gonna do. So I have Philly winning this week. And then we move on to Houston and Kansas City. I think Kansas City is going to definitely want to rebound after last week's loss. So I think they're going to pull out of the stops. Hopefully Patrick Mahomes is and the league is doing better. So I think they can win against Houston, which I believe they're at home again. I don't remember, but I believe they are. Then we have Atlanta and Arizona. Atlanta's going to win this. Arizona doesn't have what it takes. Kyler Murray is still developing. So I don't see them. Arizona may win another game or two depending on the rest of the schedule, which I haven't really looked at. But Atlanta's going to win it. And then I do think the Rams are going to end the streak for the for the 49ers. With this close as they played against Seattle last Thursday, and they technically could have won that game if the field goal was just a little left. But I think this is where San Francisco shows that they're good undefeated team, or that they just got lucky. So I do think the Rams are going to win this, and I don't see San Francisco as a true contender unless they start beating good teams. And I think this is how you start with the Rams. And then next we have Tennessee and Denver. Denver coming off the first win. I think Denver can do it again. Their defense obviously has been doing good, getting pressure. Had a bunch of sacks last week. Or I should say they finally had a couple of sacks. Was it the Jags was the first game they got sacks? So I think they can win again. Joe Flacco will find a way to beat the Titans. And it'll probably be a close game. I think this one will be decided by a field goal too. So, and then we move on to the Dallas and Jets. 35-10. Probably Dallas is going to win this. I don't see this. Well, I guess Sam Darnold's back, but I think Dallas is going to beat them because the Jets defense isn't that good. So this might be a blowout depending on how Sam Darnold plays. But I think Dallas is probably going to win this, and then they're going to get all cocky and we damn boys, we're going to the Super Bowl. But I don't know. Dallas is kind of an easier schedule, so that's all I gotta say. And then for Sunday night's game, the Chargers and Steelers. Steelers are on their third quarterback, with Mason Rudolph out. I don't think he's playing this week. I think he's still on concussion protocol. I don't know who the other backup's name is. So I think the Chargers are going to win this maybe by 10. But I don't think Pittsburgh has much of a chance until they probably get Mason Rudolph back. And then we have Monday night game, which is Detroit and Green Bay. I have Green Bay winning this, but I think this is going to be a slugfest. This is going to be probably a good game. This may be like the game of the week, depending on how good the Detroit actually is. Coming off beating Kansas City 2 weeks ago, and they have a bye. This Packers have beaten every other team in the North so far. But I think it's going to be a real struggle against the Lions. But I think this has potential to be a really good game. I can see this maybe being a 1 or 2 point game at the end. So I think this is I'm really excited for this game. And I'm excited to see what the Lions can do. And if they got lucky against Kansas City, or if they're really a playoff team. And how you do that is you beat the Packers, and I think that puts them in first place if they do that, I think. I think so. I think that would. But I think, with the game Aaron Jones had last week against Dallas, it's probably going to be a running game because Devontae's still out. But the other receivers for the Packers would probably step up. But, never doubt Stafford. Stafford's pretty good QB. I love watching Stafford, but I, in a divisional game, it's a lot more competitive. It's way different than a non-divisional game. So I do see this being a tight game, 1 or 2 points. But I think the Packers will end up winning it. Obviously, you never know. Detroit could. And, I won't be too surprised. I mean, the way they played against Kansas City, I would not be surprised at all. So, we'll see. I'll probably do a breakdown video for that separately, probably next Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll have probably Sunday games probably done Monday. And hopefully Raging Titan will be back next week. Because we are having some Wi-Fi connection issues, so that's why we're not able to both be here and talking. So, till then, I'll put up his picks. And then I'm gonna head and get on out of here. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace.